Alrighty guys, welcome back to part 12 of this 2005 Ninja 500R complete revival restoration. Well, not complete restoration, but getting it back on the road. So that's what we're doing. It's been sitting for over 10 years in a storage. It needed a lot of work. This is actually part 12. We only have one more part of this series, and that's going to be the test drive. Everything else has been done, so if you want to catch the entire playlist, make sure to go in the description of the video. Also, please smash the like button and subscribe. Guys, I do not make this content for me. I make it for all of you. I have thousands of subscribers and millions of views. That's not even a 1% bracket of the people using my information for absolutely free and not returning the favor to me. Remember, guys, we don't have to make this free content to save you $160 an hour taking it to a shop, plus shop costs, and you know, it's like I save you thousands of dollars with this information. The least you could do is do a free thing for me by hitting the like and subscribe. And if you'd like to take it a step further, maybe make a simple donation to the channel. We put all of that money back into the channel. I only do this as a hobby to make content to help everyone else, right? Yes, I do get monetization, but that's because I want to get paid for the time, energy, and effort that I'm putting into my videos. And if Google is willing to send me some money for doing that, then of course I'm gonna do that. But if you guys personally would like to take it a step further because Google doesn't pay us a lot, feel free to just send a simple donation or consider joining my membership program. It's like $1 a month, you know, $12 a year to support what I do and the free information I give everybody else, you know. But regardless, all of it in the end inevitably goes back into the channel. Even my Google AdSense, I take that and I buy stuff for the channel just to make more free content for everybody to help them. So, you know, this is the most giving channel ever, and I just don't get the gratitude back that I feel like should be coming back. You know what I mean? Show your boy some love, man. That's all I'm saying. Hype the video, you know, make it so that other people see it. Like the living crap out of these things, man. Again, nobody has to take the time that they don't get back in this world to make free content for people to help them. So all I'm asking for is a little back scratch. That's it. So today we are going to be doing an oil change and putting the lower fairing back on this unit, and then part 13 is going to be the first drive now that everything is completely done on this bike and it's ready for the road. So let's do this oil change. Check out my intro real quick and I'll see you guys back here in a minute. Welcome back. So the first thing you're gonna do is come over here, take off your oil cap. We're just gonna set that aside because that'll help drain the oil much faster. You should normally run your engine before you do this, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna let it slow drain, so I'm not really worried about running the engine. I don't want to be dealing with this oil when it's hot right now, especially because I'm removing the oil filter. This takes 3 quarts, exactly 3 quarts if you are removing the oil filter and putting on a new one. We are doing that today. If you're not replacing the oil filter, then I think it takes like 2.6 quarts. So not a huge difference, but still, you should always do a new filter every time you do a change. I mean, heck, you get, if you're using synthetics, you get 5,000 miles, 5 to 7,000, normally 5,000. If you're using, like I'll be doing conventional just because, you know, I'm not going to be racing this bike and driving it hard. I'll be doing conventional, so we get 3,000 miles out of our changes, or when I feel like the viscosity is starting to break down, I'll change it. So I'm just doing $30 worth of 10W40 Valvoline 4-stroke motorcycle oil, meets JSOP specs, all that for wet clutch stuff, so we're good to go there. First thing you're gonna do, like I said, remove the oil cap. Then we're gonna come down here. We're just gonna do all this without stopping the camera if I can, and we're going to, I don't think this has ever been taken off, so this is gonna be interesting. Well, I'm sure it's been taken off, but I don't think it's been taken off since a very long time. So let's see what we got here. That was a 17. I'm gonna take my ratchet, we're gonna pop that on here, and we gotta break this guy free. So let's see which way we're going here with my ratchet. That should be correct. So let's see. And it's gonna be tight because it's definitely rusted on there. Ah, yeah. There we go. I should be able to just back this out real quick by hand and let it bleed. Ooh, baby. Yeah. Yep, that is some dark oil. That is what that is. Very dark and worn out oil. Very worn out. And it has way too much oil in it. Like way too much. I don't know why there's so much oil on this bike. It doesn't smell like fuel. It's definitely too much oil. So we're good there. All right, let me grab my rag. This happens every single time, man. You get it all over yourself. Try not to get it on your exhaust pipes, because guys, that'll make your bike stink for like the first 2 days of driving it. So let's remove this filter. You should be able to do this by hand if it wasn't put on too tight. This should be removable by hand. If not, I'll put my wrench on it, but of course, that is a no. So we're gonna have to wrench it, which is exactly what I didn't want to do. So you guys will have to have an oil filter wrench. Yep, this was definitely over tightened. So whoever put this on went crazy. There we go. Should be able to undo it by hand now. Ooh, yummy. Yeah, that's way too much oil in there. God, it's still coming out too. I don't know why they had so much oil in this bike. Unnecessary amount of oil. Completely unnecessary. All right, I'm gonna let this slow drain and then I'll see you guys in a bit, because it looks like a lot is gonna come out of this thing. Unfortunately, they gave me the wrong filter for the bike, so we're gonna use the old one. I actually took the old one and already cleaned it. I put gasoline in here, shook it around real good, and then checked for contents and particulates, and I didn't see very much of anything come out of there at all. And then I stuck a magnet in there just to make sure and sifted around and inside the filter, and I didn't see too much, so we should be good there. I'm just gonna reuse the old one. Unfortunately, it is what it is, man. It sucks they got it wrong. Sucks, but the oil filter overall is still in really good shape. A little bit of rusting on the outside, but other than that, it's still in really good shape, so I'm not concerned about it. We'll check our oil pressure once we start it up, make sure everything's good to go, but yeah, it should be fine. Like I said, not too many particulates came out, so this is down to slow dripping now, which is what I wanted. It took about 30 minutes to start slow dripping, so we're gonna go ahead and tighten this back down. Then we're gonna take some of the old oil and we're going to rub it on that O-ring again. There we go. Don't want to go too tight, but not too loose. So whenever you install an oil filter, again, you always want to take your finger with the old oil and just do this. This will help create a good seal, which is what we're looking for, is a good solid seal. So we're gonna pop that guy back on there. Oh, unfortunately, guys, I gotta get started on my next motorcycle project. So as much as I want to go down and get another filter, I already gave it a shot. And this, guys, you put on by hand. You go hand tight until you can't tighten it anymore by hand. That's as tight as it should go. There we go. So that's it, no tighter. Oops, didn't mean to dip that down in there. So we can push that out of the way now. Yeah, that's way, 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 way too much oil. Cool. Clean off all this so that this isn't dripping all over the place. I don't want it just hanging out on the bottom of the pan, the cowl. And now all you gotta do, guys, is go grab a funnel and pour it all in, and you're done. Then start it up and let it run. Okay, back to back. We're gonna open all the tops because it's taking all 3 quarts. You can see the glass right here. You won't see how full it is till you take it off the center stand. It'll probably say it's over full when it's on the center stand. When it's off, it should come down to where it's supposed to be. So pour in till it's all gone. Oh, that's some good looking stuff going in, baby. Yes, sir. Drink up. Drink up. The clutch and the engine are gonna love this. All right, I'll speed it up from here. So it says it's over full, as I suspected, and that's 3 quarts, and it hasn't circulated it to the oil filter yet. So once you get through all that, it should definitely bring this back down, especially when it's not on the center stand. So just so you guys know, that's what it takes. It takes 3 quarts if you do a filter change. So, all right, let's put this back together here. Let's start it up. Make sure we got good oil pressure. Now that we've done that, I'm gonna take the cap and put it back on. We're gonna fire this thing up. Now let's get an oil change and we'll check our pressures. Let's crank it up. Let it circulate that new oil. See how long it takes our oil pressure light to go out. Didn't take long for the oil pressure light to go out. That's so interesting that it does that until it warms up a little bit. Or you bring the RPM up just enough that it stays on. It's like that requires a certain amount of voltage. Sounds really good, man, with those new carbs and that tune and synchronization. It sounds really healthy. Super healthy. Yeah, it's a very happy bike. Very happy bike. So I'll let that run for a minute. Let everything get all nice and warmed up before I turn it off. And then we'll put that bottom cowl on and we'll be ready for the first ride. Turn signals are working good. Excellent. Both sides. Yep. Yep. Cool. Make sure they're working. I see the rear one and front one working. Rear one and front one working. Make sure our brake lights are still working good. Oh my gosh, it sounds so much better with that new oil in there. Yes, sir. Don't forget to recycle, folks. Help the environment. Be a good person. That's all I'm gonna say. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. This bike is completely shiny and clean. New carburetors, all tuned, synchronized, all new fluids. Everything's been inspected. New brake handle. All this has been completely cleaned. It's a beautiful thing. All the brakes work, functionality. It's got 22,000 miles, brand new battery, starts up like a champ. This thing's clean. It's clean. For its year, it is really stupid clean. So, I'll see you guys in part 13 when we take it for the test ride. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Don't forget all these videos from 1 until part 13 of the complete resurrection of this bike will be in the description as well, so you can watch every single stage of bringing this bike back to street capable use. It's ready. Tomorrow we take it for a rip. Let's go.